What's up, guys? Welcome in. Thanks for coming back and hanging with us on Sports and Shenanigans, where women's sports and pop culture collide. We are on the Kansas City Sports Network talking to a Kansas City sports legend. I am thrilled. I have so many emotions for today's guest. Let me just bring her in really quick. So we are hanging out with Jess Smith. She is the head coach at UMKC, the head coach of the women's soccer program. She has a long list of accolades that I will get to, but maybe my most favorite is that she's my former teammate. Jess and I played Olympic development together. We played soccer. We represented Kansas a handful of years, Jess, but I'm just so thrilled to have been able to watch you grow and watch your career and now have you on my show. I'm so grateful. Thank you for joining, Jess.
Thank you for all those kind things you just said. And I think you said Kansas City legend. That would be you,
No.
Jilly. So no, I was thinking just about you this morning and this opportunity and just how long we've known each other and how the game and sports has brought us together. And the feeling is mutual to be able to watch you do your thing and see all the waves you're making in the sports world for women, soccer particularly. It's just been awesome. So I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for asking me to join.
Oh my God, of course. You're very kind. And I just want to jump in because you just bring so much perspective and lived experiences. And in your journey, hopefully we get to share with our listeners. You've done a lot of things. So let's just jump in. A Kansas kid, which I love, out of Wichita, Kansas. Of course, in the Wichita Sports Hall of Fame, numerous accolades at Wichita Southeast.
Yeah.
I believe. Okay.
Yes.
From there, you took your talents to the University of Kansas, an incredible soccer program, 16 goals, 10 assists in your career for the Jayhawks, captained the team, led the team to the Big 12 championship, also an NCAA Sweet 16 appearance. And from there, which this is what I love, you pivoted beautifully into the role of coach. So you stayed with the Jayhawks under Mark Francis, one of the best, and started your coaching career. I love this. You took a couple of turns from college to high school, Olathe Northwest, girls and boys, which I love. I think I've got lots of questions about your opportunity to actually be a part of the inaugural soccer team at K-State. So the first women's soccer team, that's really cool. You were on that coaching staff as an assistant, quickly were promoted really to associate head coach. And from there, head coach of Division I UMKC women's soccer, one of the youngest head coaches in Division I women's soccer, by the way. And man, there's even more, but holy smokes, your resume is just unbelievable.
You're making me blush, Jill. And as you say all of that, the thing that pops in my mind is all the amazing people that I've been around that have helped me achieve the opportunities that I've had. So I've had so many people. You mentioned Mark Francis. He's obviously a huge person in my life and mentor. Really the whole coaching staff at Kansas really sparked my love to get into coaching. And actually, before I started coaching officially at Kansas, I had started coaching high school soccer. So I was at Olathe Northwest. My boss there was Mark Sheldon, who you know very well, who was Jill and I's ODP coach. And Mark Sheldon is now my assistant coach at UMKC. So the soccer world has been really, really good to me. Blessed me with a lot of wonderful people and opportunities. And I've had a absolutely supportive family that has pushed me and encouraged me since I was a little girl to reach my dreams and go beyond what I thought was possible. So I'm very grateful for the position that I'm in right now. Obviously, being the head coach at UMKC has been just a really big blessing. Lots of lessons learned as a person and a coach here, but very motivated and continue to be on my growth process as a coach and just passionate about what I get to do every day. So very lucky.
Well, your players are so lucky to have you as well. And I love that you kind of bring back Mark Sheldon. We just have to bring this, and I have to highlight this because our ODP coach, so at one point, this man was your coach. Then you coached under him, and now he essentially is under you as the assistant. Love Mark Sheldon to death. I just love that full circle moment, and I think it's really cool.
It's awesome. I was just on the phone with him and he told me to tell you hello. So certainly I don't, it's so strange to think that Mark is under me. He's not. He's such a unbelievable coach and just a strategist and tactician of the game. So really grateful for just to be able to do this with him. Somebody that I've trusted since I was 12. I'm aging him.
Separated. No, I love that. And Jess, I really feel like you were one of the first high quality players that put Kansas on the map. As far as I would love to say, it was also me in ODP camp, but it was always you, Seth. And your career just really, I think, started something for players in the Kansas area, whether it be Wichita, Kansas City. You know, today, fast forward and we see.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Shay Garham, Dorian Bailey, the list goes on. Mary Long, locals. But I feel like you started that, which I love.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. And, you know, when I think about it, it is absolutely amazing to see how far the game has grown in Kansas City and obviously in Wichita, my hometown. I was one of the, few players coming out of our, city. As you remember too, we also played club soccer together, and that was back in the day when, my junior, senior year, and I didn't have players to play with anymore. And so my parents brought me up to Kansas City and we played on KCFC, and, it's a different world now. There's just so many more opportunities in Wichita, as well as Kansas City and the surrounding areas. And you've got women across the state who are traveling to different club teams to get opportunities. So whether that's just better competition in leagues, to be seen at different showcases. So shows a tremendous commitment from family members and just to have the resources to do that. But the growth of the game. So I'm happy that I played a very small part of that. But it's just really awesome to see so many people. I mean, you've got a Wichita kid that comes to mind right away is Macy Bell, played at North Carolina, has been in with the national team, obviously played professionally. I got to work with her a couple summers ago with the KC Current too. And just, it's so awesome to see these young ladies just living far beyond the dreams that I ever had. It's reality for them. So it's very cool.
Yeah, I have that same kind of just perspective, I guess. Like, man, like, wish it was us, but happy it's them. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was fortunate to go to the very first home opener at the new stadium, and I was just sitting there and I was speechless. I was like, the 12-year-old me, I can't believe I'm sitting here and this is real. Certainly I've followed the team since it was FC Casey, and they were not playing in a facility like that. But so to see how far it's grown, to see the fans and just even looking out at the location, right on the riverfront, seeing, what the ownership is doing right now. I mean, this is pro sports. Women's soccer has just grown immensely. So really awesome to see.
Yeah. And they're not stopping, which I love personally. No. So talk to me about like when and how you felt that you were going to stay around the game and just pivot into that coaching role. Obviously wanted to play as high level as you could, and you did. Yeah. But when, I know you captained the team, I know from perspective, like you've always been a leader, but when did you know coaching was your next step?
When I finished playing, it was right in between where I believe it was WUSA at the time had folded and the WPS was starting again, but there was like a year gap. So I had, had my hopes on maybe trying to go to an open combine, got injured while I was training for that. And so for me, that was just, could I continue this dream? But even before then, it was probably my freshman year of college at Kansas when I was coaching summer camps and just being around, particularly my female assistant, Donna Holyman. I mean, she's just the salt of the earth. Somebody that is just so kind and connecting on the field, but holds a really high standard. just being influenced by her and that experience coaching younger kids, I thought, wow, this is amazing. I would love to be able to impact young kids like that. So I got the itch early. And then I think, in that transition time when I had finished college and, playing was kind of going away, and like we all do, what's the next steps? So I got involved with the ODP program, got involved coaching at Olathe Northwest, and then the volunteer position came up at Kansas. So I started doing that and instantly, knew I was in my place. I volunteered for about a year and a half, and then the full-time second assistant position opened. And so I took that job, and obviously I've been a couple places along the way, and just I would say my passion for coaching the game and just the tactics of it, the strategy, all those things, like it's probably grown tremendously. It keeps getting more and more. And my love for relationship building and what I do with players has grown as well, and kind of has navigated into some different pathways as I've gotten older, become a mom, and experienced some different things. So I feel like I'm living my best life through the game still, and just really excited and happy that I get to do this every day.
As you should. You gave a lot to this game, so the game should be
thank you.
packed. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I have to hear about, obviously, such a success at KU on the pitch and then on the sideline coaching. But then the opportunity came to start the program, the women's soccer program at K-State. Like, I mean, gosh, how do you even start a program, number one? But what was that like for you?
Well, Mike Dabini was the very first head coach, and he was there with the other assistant, Gabe Romo, for about 6 months before I got there. So Gabe and Mike really, hit the ground running on, the first thing was, we've got to find players. So I got there, I think, in December of that year. And so we went through a spring season, and I think we may have only had 10 players. And we're just constantly recruiting, bringing kids in. At that time, it was, trying to find the highest quality players that we could, but establishing a culture, and take a few steps back from that. What are we wearing? What equipment do we have? Where are we putting the soccer equipment? There were so many things, details from the startup of our program. So that was a great opportunity for me. I certainly got a lot of opinions from my college teammates that I would be going to K-State. But I had to remind them, I'm a Wichita kid. Some people hate this, but I grew up a KU basketball fan, and I grew up watching Bill Snyder football. So, Coach Snyder was still there when I got there. So it was a red and blue make purple moment for me. I'm very grateful for that. I still keep in contact with a handful of the players that I coached there, because we were really, the coaching staff and the players, we were all doing it for the first time and going through some really difficult, growing times. Had some great moments too. I remember our very first win was at Oakland. That first year in the Big 12, we beat Kansas at Kansas 1-0. And that was, I actually just got goosebumps right now. Even against my alma mater, they'll never forget. That was one of my, top 3 moments of my career. Just having the players after the game, they were jumping around me and, we did it for you, Jess. And it was just like, oh my gosh, all the building and things that you have to do to start a program. It was moments like that make it so sweet.
Yeah. Man, what a jump. Amazing. I love that you got the win too. No shade to the Jayhawks, but I love that.
Yeah.
Take a quick break and step aside here for our sponsors. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit about your transition to UMKC, of course, as the head coach. Also, just catch up with a little bit about what mom life looks like when you're a Division I soccer coach. So, guys, stick with us. We'll be right back with Jess Smith.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Folks, it's playoff time, and if you're still just watching the games, then you're missing out. With Pick 6 from DraftKings, you can turn your hoops knowledge into real cash. Just make your picks, track your score, and if you hit all 6, you're looking at bigger payouts than Prize Picks flex plays. Nobody's dropping better payouts than Pick 6. Hit 6 picks, and that's 25 times your cash. And if you beat your competition, you could be looking at a 500 times bag in your pocket. And right now, new customers can get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry. Here's what you got to do. The playoffs are on, so why not take a shot at making a little money while you're watching? Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to play $5 and get $50 in bonus picks. Better payouts, bigger wins, only on Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdictions. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.